Welcome to Gentle Yoga. This is our last sequence, or our last class with this sequence. So please let me know if you have anything you're working on, tight hamstrings, hips, whatever, and we'll make sure to address that for next class. It's so good to see so many people. My name is Kat, and let's get started. Let's get started in a kind of gentle child's pose. So sit your hips on top of your heels and melt your chest forward, and maybe bring your arms back. This is the most gentle version of the pose. If you're looking for an added inner thigh stretch, you can spread your knees out wide to the corners of your mat or the edges of your mat, and then hinge down from there. Whatever iteration of child's pose you took, just begin to sink into it. Begin to bring your attention just to your breath, just to this mat, just to this moment. Begin to slow down the thoughts. Begin to slow down your mind. And if thoughts do pop up, make them gentle. Make them about gratitude, about something peaceful and relaxing, like how beautiful this pose is. Child's pose is available to you anytime throughout class. If you ever get a little overwhelmed, want to take a break, or just enjoy this beautiful posture, it is yours to return to. And from here, we're going to slowly begin to crawl our fingertips to the top right corner of our mat for a gentle side bend here. Maybe feel a little more tension in your shoulders. Breathe deeply into it. And slowly crawl them back to center, and then all the way to the left top corner of your mat. Again, breathing deeply. Beautiful. Come back to center, keeping your elbows where they are. Bring your hands together to touch in a prayer pose behind the back of your neck. And slowly add a little bit of pressure to your triceps by pushing your biceps down. And feel this amazing tricep opener. Nice. Release your hands back down to the mat and slowly come up to have a seat, either on your feet or crisscross applesauce, whatever feels good for you today. I'm just going to begin class with some light head rolls. So drop your chin to your chest, and then your left ear touches your left shoulder. And you look up, right ear to right shoulder, and then look down. I like to close my eyes during these head rolls to really isolate the feeling, the sensation, to just the neck. In fact, a lot of this class might be amplified if you shut off one of your senses, like your gaze. Take one more round in this direction. Maybe stay in any spot that feels a little more tight. And meet me in a neutral head position. Then drop your right ear to your right shoulder and look up, and left ear to left and look down, heading in the opposite direction. Just nice and easy here. These don't have to be quick. In fact, they should be intentionally slow and purposeful. Just beginning to relax some of your upper body muscles. One more round here. And find a neutral head. Option to bring your eyes open if they weren't there already. Preparing for some seated cat-cow. Open up your chest by sending your shoulders behind you. Stick your butt out, your back curls, look up. Exhale, round your shoulders forward, puff up your back this time for cat. Take a few of these big opposite C curves on your own time. This will help open up your core, your back, and breathe into it. Again, this is a gentle vinyasa class, so we add our breath to each movement. And in yoga, we inhale as we look up or get big, and we exhale as we go down or get small. Beautiful. Few more. Nice and gentle. Can you get a little deeper now that you're a little more open? And find a neutral spine here. Drop your right hand down to the mat, reach up with your left arm, and slowly bend to the right side. Keep your elbow in line with your ear. Maybe you push your left hip left for an added stretch. Nice. In this, you kind of want to reach up first rather than reach to the side. So this isn't about like how far to the side you can get, but really how much of a stretch you can get in your left side obliques. Let's switch it out. Drop your left arm down, reach your right arm up first, and then to the left. Nice. Can you extend through your arm? Feel fire all the way from your armpit to your elbow to your fingertips, reaching even further. Breathing deeply. Beautiful. Inhale both arms up to a mountain pose posture. Bring your shoulders down behind your back. Wrap your triceps in by bringing your pinkies to face one another. Engage your core to avoid a duck butt. And then exhale, bring your arms, your elbows in line with your shoulders for this goal posting position. Keep them back to kind of fire up this part in your chest and your shoulders. Leaving your elbows and kind of upper arm where they are. Drop your hands down so they're still in this L pose. And then bring them up, down, and up. Take a few of these rotations, keeping your elbows back. This shouldn't be super easy. You should feel a little bit of exercise in your shoulders, in your chest even. So keep your elbows high and in line with your shoulders as you take these gold post rotations. Breathing. We're going to take this class just a tiny bit faster than we've taken the other classes just to see if we can fit in a few more stretches. And I look forward to your feedback to see if you like it. Nice. Drop both hands down, twisting to the right side. Bring your right arm behind you. Use your left hand to press away from your right knee. Maybe you look behind your right shoulder. Keep working the right shoulder back. Are you sitting up nice and tall so your shoulders are in line with your hips? I really like to look back to give a little added neck stretch. Twist a little deeper here. A little more. And then switch sides. Slowly rock your arms to the left. So your left hand grabs the ground below you. Your right hand grabs your left knee or thigh, whatever's accessible. And look to the left. I love these twists at the beginning of class because they always crack my back, which feels really, really good. But be careful not to lean back into the left arm. Just use it as a nice prop to keep your shoulders in line with your hips. And slowly come back to center. Find a basket grip behind your low back. Puff up your chest. Make sure your palms are touching here. And slowly bring your arms, your hands away from your back for an added kind of shoulder stretch. Maybe you look up for a little back bend. Bring your chin up a little so you feel nice, tall, and proud. Can you go a little deeper? Move your arms back a little further. Connecting back to your breath, your intention for class. One more breath here. And slowly release your grip. Bring your right arm to the top of your left back and give yourself a beautiful little massage here. I store a lot of tension, a lot of stress in my shoulders. It's kind of almost unbelievable when I do this, how much release I have in my upper back. So dig deep. Give yourself a deep tissue massage. You deserve it. And feel around, see if there are any good pressure points that you can help relieve. And switch sides. Left arm comes to right upper back. And give yourself a nice massage. Honestly, like if we're sitting in our desk all day, just doing this in between Zoom meetings can help relieve a lot of the Zoom stress or Zoom tension that we build up during quarantine. One more breath here. Dig a little deeper. Nice. And close your eyes. Either bring your hands to your thighs or your knees. I'm going to switch to crisscross applesauce. That feels a little more comfy for my feet right now. We're going to do a few of these 3-part breathing breaths that we've been practicing. So just to review, we spend 3 seconds either on an inhale or exhale in our lower belly, 3 seconds in our middle ribs, and 3 seconds in our upper chest. The goal of this 3-part breathing is to elongate our breaths so we feel a deep relaxation that kind of surface level breathing just can't get us to. So let's empty out all of the stale air in our lungs. Make sure you're in a comfortable position. And on one inhale, we'll take 3 from the lower belly. Inhale here for 3, 2, 1. Middle ribs for 3, 2, 1. And upper chest for 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the top for 3, 2, 1. Big exhale from the chest for 3, 2, 1. Middle for 3, 2, 1. Lower 3, 2, 1. Hold it. I know it's hard for 3, 2, 1. Big inhale from the lower for 3, 2, 1. Middle 3, 2, 1. Upper 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top for 3, 2, 1. Exhale from the chest for 3, 2, 1. The ribs 3, 2, 1. The lower belly for 3, 2, 1. Let's do that one more time. Inhale or hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale from the lower for 3, 2, 1. The middle 3, 2, 1. Upper 3, 2, 1. Hold last time for 3, 2, 1. Exhale from the chest 3, 2, 1. Middle ribs 3, 2, 1. And lower belly 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Begin to blink your eyes open, reacquaint yourself with the space in front of you. I hope you feel a little more relaxed, a little more ready for gentle yoga. So let's move on to a tabletop pose. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Turn your wrists 90 degrees to the right and the left, so your fingertips are facing the long edges of your mat. And take nice, long, and slow horizontal movements. So we've been practicing these kind of quick horizontal movements. I want you to go all the way to the right and all the way to the left until you reach kind of the tip of your mobility in your wrists. So you don't want to go like overextend and hurt your wrists, but just notice how far to the left and how far to the right you can rotate your body before your wrist says, you know, that's enough for me. And see how that distance might change as you slowly practice this, or even in this moment as we're practicing it together. If this feels very accessible to you, turn them again 90 degrees so you're facing your knees this time, and go vertically this time. Maybe instead of rocking, you just lean back. Maybe the palms of your hands, or the heels of your hands, excuse me, peel off of the mat, and you just hold it here. This is a pretty intense wrist stretch, so feel free to rock forward and keep the heels of your hand on the ground, but see what it feels like in your fingers and your wrists, how it kind of shoots up your arm, and breathe into it. And then the last one is to flip your hands so your palms are facing up this time and your fingertips are facing each other towards the middle of the mat. And then for this one, you can just take little nice circles, just feeling into it, adding a more intense mobility part. Nice. One more breath. And then plant your hands down, shoulders over wrists, tabletop pose. Engage your core for a flat spine here. Inhale up to cow. Look up, stick your butt out, breathe, feel this amazing core stretch. Exhale, round forward, look between your thumbs, puffing up your upper back. Inhale to cow. Exhale, round to cat. Again, take this with your own breath, your own pace. Staying in one position maybe that feels extra good. Make sure to add your neck into this. So look up, chin up for cow, chin down, look down for cat. This is a whole body movement. So feel good. One more breath. And then meet me in a neutral tabletop pose. Bring the left hand, your left hand to the center of your mat. Inhale your right arm nice and high. Hold it here. Let's reset this position so it's good. Bump the left hip further left. Come a little forward because you're probably pushing away from your wrist. So you want to stack your shoulder over your wrist. So you're moving a little forward, a little left, while also moving your right arm back behind you. It's kind of a really challenging posture to perfectly nail. Inhale here. Take a nice big inhale. And then exhale, curl it under, thread the needle, bring your right hand through the hole created by your left and your knees, and come to lie down on that right arm. Whatever you want to do with the left arm is up to you. You should just feel a really amazing, beautiful release in your right shoulder. And breathe here. Again, notice if you're bumping your hips to the left, bump them back to the right. Or the exact opposite. If you're bumping into the right, bump them back to the left. Plant your right or left hand back to the center of the mat. Unwind all the way up. Inhale your right arm nice and high. Exhale, plant your right arm into the center of the mat. Inhale your left arm nice and high. We're switching sides, holding it here. Again, my hips are moving left, so make sure to reset by bumping them right. I'm hinging forward, so my right shoulder is above my right wrist and maybe gazing up, so both arms are in line with one another. Twist a little deeper here. You should be fighting with yourself because your hips want to go left, your shoulder wants to go right. It's just breathe, inhale. Exhale, come through, thread the needle, left arm down, right arm either behind your back in a bind or maybe touching the ground in front of you with a straight arm. Just breathe. Maybe close your eyes during these really, really gentle postures. Do you feel the release in your left shoulder? Nice. Plant your right arm back down to the center of the mat. Inhale your left arm nice and high. Get that stretch one last time. Exhale, plant your palms so they're in line with your knees. Come into a high plank and then immediately push down into downward facing dog. Ooh, this is the first downward facing dog of class, maybe of the day, maybe of the week for you. So take a minute to pedal it out, breathing deeply into your calves. Find intense relaxation. Nice to see a few new faces. Hello, Christy. And Mama. Awesome. Find stillness here if you weren't still already. What does stillness in downward facing dog look like? It looks like a small bend in your knees, so you're able to bring your chest towards your thighs. My heels are not touching the ground here. That's not the point of the pose. The point of the pose is to get a beautiful hamstring stretch and also a nice shoulder opener by bringing my chest closer to my thighs. My head is almost past my triceps, and I'm doing that by bending my knees in a pretty intense way. Beautiful. Slowly walk one kind of inch at a time up to the top of your mat, feet hips distance apart. Take a generous bend in your knees and relax your entire upper body over your lower body. Release your head muscles And so you're just rocking back and forth here ever so gently like you're a rag doll. That's what this pose is. It's ragdoll pose. Option to keep your hands straight and kind of flailing below you, or option to take a hand to elbow grip and kind of sway back and forth here. Any pose in yoga can be made mobile or made stable. So for this one, the mobility option is to kind of rock your upper body left and right, feeling into your lower back, releasing some tension there. Or the stillness is also beautiful, just to feel it in your hamstrings. If you took a bath or a grip with your arm, switch it out so opposite hand is on top. We want to add balance to our practice, even in places you don't think need rebalancing. Breathing deeply. One more breath all together. Nice. Slowly bring your hands down to the mat. Use your left arm to grab your right ankle, and we're twisting open to the right. Bring your right arm nice and high, moving that right shoulder back. Same issues here. Bump your hips to the right because they're gonna want to move left. Maybe look up and gaze to the ceiling for an added neck stretch. Keep working that right shoulder back, bending your left knee to make this very accessible. Inhale here. Exhale, switch sides. Right hand grabs left ankle, left arm rises. Maybe look up, bending into that right knee to make this accessible. This is a hard pose. This pose makes me want to sweat a little, so breathe deeply into it. If you ever get too hot, release the open mouth breaths. One more breath here. And then release back to center. Find that basket grip that we've been practicing behind your upper neck or lower head, and slowly tug your head closer to your thighs here for an added upper back stretch. If this feels like too much, just ditch it and stick with the forward fold. But for me, I really like the added upper back stretch because it's a part of my body that doesn't get released as often as it should. One more breath. And then release both hands down to the mat. Toe heel your feet together so they come to touch or are at least closer together than they were before. And then on one long inhale, take a deep bend in your knees and rise up to stand one vertebrae at a time. Your head rises last, all the way up to mountain pose, reaching your arms up nice and high. We've practiced this before. Knit your ribs in, maybe gaze up just ever so slightly so you feel tall and proud. Really bring your thighs off of your knees by engaging into them, rounding your triceps in, shoulders down. Breathe. Inhale, get a little taller. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center prayer. Maybe even bow your chin to your chest. Inhale, look up, rise to mountain. Exhale, prayer. Inhale, rise to mountain. Take in this beautiful morning. Exhale, prayer. Humble yourself in. Inhale, mountain. Maybe take a little back bend here. Exhale, prayer. Two more. Inhale, mountain. Look up. Maybe push your hips forward for the back bend. Exhale, prayer. Come back to center. Reset. Inhale, mountain. Promise last time. Exhale, prayer. And hold it here for a second. Close your eyes. Reconnect to your body, to your practice. Thank yourself for arriving on your mat today, for dedicating 45 minutes to your body, to your soul, and the relationship between the two. This stuff isn't easy, even if it is gentle yoga. So give yourself some gratitude. Nice. Inhale, back up to mountain. Exhale, side bend to the right. Drop your right arm down. Reach up with your left arm and then to the right. Maybe pushing your hips to the left for an added side stretch. Breathing deeply. Bring that left arm further back. Inhale up to mountain, neutralize the spine. Exhale to the left. This time, right arm reaches across, left arm drops low. One more breath here, really releasing a lot of side oblique tension. Inhale up to mountain. Exhale, goal post your arms like we practiced before. Hold it here. Elbows are in line with your shoulders, arms in line with elbows, creating this L posture with our arms, keeping your upper arms where they are. Drop the hands down and take a few of these goal post rotations here. Try to avoid any movement in your upper biceps or upper arms, really isolating the movement to your forearms and your hands. By doing this, you're firing up your chest, your shoulders. Say good morning to your arms. Just for 4, 3, 2, and drop your hands down behind your back in 1. Find that basket grip, palms to touch, hands interlace behind your back. Puff up your chest and maybe take a small back bend as your chin rises so you gaze up to the ceiling, and then remove or kind of move your hands from your back so you get an added upper chest shoulder opener. Breathing deeply. This is a pretty intense one. Make sure to not lock your elbows. Slowly bend your knees, keeping your upper body where it is. And then tip your upper body, keeping your hands where they are, all the way down. So we're in this forward fold again, but with the hand grip. Hold it here. Relax your neck. Can you move your hands even higher behind you? Can you find any more places for relaxation? Nice. Slowly release your hand grips so your hands dive forward. Inhale up to halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins or thighs. Create an L with your body. Engage your core. Flat back. Exhale, plant your palms. Step back into a high plank and slowly lower your upper body, your whole body down to the ground. Move your feet to the left and right corners of your mat. So you're kind of straddling this whole distance of your mat. Plant your hands down in front of you, whatever that looks like, maybe in a kind of seal pose or headed to seal pose. And then slowly puff up your chest all the way up so you are in seal pose. Your entire core is curled, or sorry, your entire back is curled. You're standing up by pushing through your palms. This is a beautiful back bend. There are tons of variations of little back bends like this. So practice whatever feels good for you today. But this one's feeling really wonderful in my hips, in my core. So let's hold it for a few seconds. Breathing deeply. Maybe shut your eyes, really engage into it. Engage your glutes to avoid dumping into your lower back. Nice. One more breath. Can you get even taller? Even more. And then slowly wave your upper body back down to the ground. Plant your palms kind of right above your top ribs and press up and back into a downward facing dog. Second down dog of class, so take another moment to get reacquainted with it. Practice bending and straightening your knees, sending your chest closer and then further away from your thighs, and then find a neutral position, kind of trading off between the bend in your knees and the distance of your chest to your thighs. That feels really good for you. Pressing deeply into your palms. Make sure your arms have a slight bend in them too. You want to avoid locking kind of any of your joints at all times. Beautiful. Bring both toes to touch at the center of the mat. Inhale your right arm nice, tall and high, three-legged dog. Exhale, round forward. Plant your right foot, on in between your hands. Drop your left knee down, uncurl the toes, and rise up to kneeling crescent. We've been here before. Let's set it up. Right knee over right ankle. Bump that left hip forward to knit our inner thighs, inner core in. Engage everything, your core, your glutes. Option to take a blanket on under your left knee if it's feeling a little too much. If you don't have a blanket, my friends and I practiced the other day, even folding your mat over to add a little more cushion to your knee. Because I know these knee stretches can get, or sorry, these knee pressures can get a little intense. So take what feels good for you. And then drop your right arm down behind you so it finds a slight soft grip on your left back thigh, and look up. Maybe take a little slight back bend here, keeping that left arm in line with your left ear. So this is kind of like kneeling exalted warrior. It's kind of funky, but you should feel this in your left hip, maybe your left thigh. Can you sit a little deeper here? Maybe make your stance a little longer. Inhale, look up. Exhale, slowly hinge forward, flexing your right toes, straightening that right leg for half splits. Option again to come onto blocks here. So many beautiful options. If full splits are in your practice, feel free to go into those. I'm going to stay in half splits. For half splits, you want to feel a beautiful hamstring stretch on your right side. By flexing the toes, you also get something in your calf. So breathe into it and slowly hinge forward. You don't want to round forward, but really hinge from your hips to get as deep of a hamstring stretch as you can. If you do round forward, that adds some stuff to your back, but I want to isolate this stretch to just your hamstrings, your legs. So breathe here, up and upright here with me. A few more breaths. Can you sink a little lower, closer to your thighs? Now that you're a little more open, a little lower, a little more. And slowly rebend into that right knee, coming forward into a simple twist. Plant your left hand down next to your right foot and inhale your right arm nice and high. We've practiced a few of these throughout class. If you want an added thigh engager, come up off of that left knee. That might even help if you have some left knee problems, or stay down here with me to isolate the stretch into the twist. Breathing one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, bring both hands back down to the mat so they're on the inside of your right toes. Preparing for lizard's pose, curl your right toes all the way up, or move your right toes all the way up so you're in the top right corner of your mat. You want an obtuse angle with your right leg so your right ankle is in front of your right knee. I'm going to say that again because this is a hard thing to get. In lizard's pose, you don't want a 90-degree bend in your right leg. You want an obtuse one, so knee is behind ankle. Okay, from here, plant either both palms down to the ground. Maybe you come up onto a block or blanket or some books. And if this feels really comfortable for you, you can even come down onto your elbows and release your neck down with it. And play around with it. Maybe move side to side. Maybe bring your knee close to your tricep. Maybe open it up closer to the ground. See how this feels. What feels a little tighter? You know, this is a different kind of pose, opening up into different parts of our body. So be mindful and aware of how you're doing. How is this feeling? Where needs more love? Nice. And slowly uncurl your left toes. Sorry, curl your left toes and pop up off of your left knee. So we're off our left knee. And then in one big movement, we're going to join our right foot behind us. So we're in high plank. So we're in high plank now. And then from high plank, we're going to push down into downward facing dog. Again, third down dog of class. It should feel a little more open, a little more juicy, but pedal it out. See how you're feeling. Bring both toes together to touch at the center of the mat. Inhale your left leg high this time. Exhale, knee to nose, hinge forward, plant the foot in between your hands, drop the right knee down this time, uncurl the right toes, inhaling up to crescent lunge. Same thing goes here. Add a blanket, curl the mat to release, to add some pressure relief for your right knee. Bump that right hip forward, that left hip back to really fire up into the lower core. Sit deeper into the posture to maybe get some hip mobility movements here as well. Engage everything. Fire up the triceps, lower the shoulders, knit the pinkies in. Every single yoga pose has a million of these little adjustments that you have to be mindful of to really get the full expression of the posture. Nothing is easy in yoga, even in gentle yoga. So the little taller. Feel like someone's pushing you or picking you up from your fingertips. Nice. And then inhale here and exhale, slowly hinge forward into these half splits, flexing the left toes, straightening the left leg, slowly pushing yourself forward closer to your thighs. Again, maybe you're moving to the right here, so keep your balance nice and centered, maybe moving a little further to the left. Really flex the toes so you get an added calf stretch. And breathe here. Maybe even close your eyes. Come back to the intention. Why are you here today? Do you feel spots of stress relief? Where else in your body can you relieve stress right now? Where are you holding tension that you aren't meaning to? Maybe it's in your neck. Maybe it's in your shoulders. Maybe in your fingers. One more breath. Sink a little lower here. Yes, you can. And take a nice big bend in your left knee, coming forward into simple twist. Plant your right palm down. Reach your left arm nice and high. Beautiful, Lilia. Option to come up off of the right knee if that feels better for you. It's a more active version of the simple twist, but I like to isolate the twist by bringing my right knee down. Maybe gaze up to your left hands, moving that left shoulder further back. Inhale. Exhale, drop the left hand down to the inside of your left foot. Move your left foot to the top left corner of your mat, preparing for lizard's pose. Again, obtuse angle here. My ankle is in front of my knee. Nice. Lizard's pose, same options here. Come down onto your elbows if that feels good. Come onto blocks if that feels better. And maybe make some little movements here, moving left and right, moving your knee, maybe taking little circles. Discover your body here. Find parts that haven't been stretched before or positions that haven't been tried before. Even the smallest of adjustments can totally change a posture for you. Another trick here is my wrists are starting to hurt from pressing up from my hands too much, is to make fists with your hands and using your fists as kind of props here instead of your hands. That kind of relieves some of the wrist tension that you might be building in these postures. So always option to take a fist. Beautiful. Just a few more seconds. One more breath. Breathing deeply. Nice. And pop up off of the right knee. So or curl your right toes under, your right knee hovers, and then press back. Ooh, big movement into high plank. From high plank, let's move into upward facing dog. So flip your toes, shine your chest towards or through your shoulders. And this is another big back bend. None of your legs except for your feet are touching the ground. So thighs are engaged off of the mat, knees are engaged off of the mat. You're really using your arms to puff yourself up. Bring your shoulders back, maybe even look up, shining the chest forward. Inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Whew. That was a big one. Bending one knee, bending the other, breathing deeply. Downward facing dog is our kind of reset posture, but it's also really challenging in itself. So give it some time, give it some love. Bring both toes to the center of the mat to touch in downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg high this time. Exhale, pigeon pose on the right side. Bring your right knee down to the mat where your right wrist is and uncurl your left toes and your left knee. Maybe you move your right ankle to a kind of 45-degree angle on your mat. A lot of folks call for a 90-degree angle. That's physically impossible, so don't do that. and come down onto your elbows, releasing any tension here in your right glute. Maybe bring your forehead to your forearms and relax into the pigeon pose. Or you can option just stay up nice, tall, and proud. I often like to take this option to get an added hip stretch. So if I stay up nice and proud, I feel this in my left hip a lot as well. Wherever you are, either give yourself a light gaze or even shut your eyes and sink into the posture. So many beautiful choices. Nice. Come up to sit if you haven't already, or like half stand. Plant your palms and come back into downward facing dog, resetting the legs. See how your right leg will feel a little different than your left. Bring both toes to touch at the center of the mat. Inhale your left leg high this time. Exhale, pigeon pose on the left. Plant that left knee down. Maybe work that left ankle a little more forward so it's in a 45-degree angle as opposed to, I don't know, 30 or something. And then option to melt down, sleep your pigeon, come onto your elbows, forehead to forearms, or keep yourself up and erect, nice, tall, and proud, sinking into that right hip as well as the left glute. Pigeon posture is arguably one of the most relaxing and simultaneously intense postures in all of yoga. So things might come up for you, maybe that they haven't before. It feels really vulnerable to be in pigeon posture. We store a lot of our tension and kind of like reactionary um, ideas in our hips. I know that sounds crazy, but it's actually in yoga, it's like almost scientifically proven that releasing some of your hip tension also releases some of that reactionary feelings that we all have as animals. That's why back bends feel so vulnerable. So really connect with yourself. Give yourself a little bit of patience here. One more breath. And this time, sit down on your left butt and bring your right arm or right leg all the way around so you're in this crisscross applesauce position. Extend your right leg long, preparing for a hamstring stretch. Pivot towards your foot and then bend forward over your right leg for this awesome hamstring stretch on the right side. If you're looking for an added oblique stretch, you can move that left shoulder back so you're turning towards the left side wall and then reach over with your left arm this way as well. So many beautiful options, play around with them. The goal is just to find some release somewhere in your hamstring and your oblique, whatever feels good for you today. Beautiful. Slowly rise up to the center and switch your legs out. Right foot comes in nice and close. Left leg straightens and goes long. Pivot over your left leg and hinge forward until you feel a beautiful hamstring stretch. I also feel these in my hips, which is interesting. And if you're looking for the added oblique, maybe twist to the right. Bring your right arm up nice and high, stretching that right side as well. You've made it to the end of class, so begin to lower your heart rate, calm even more. Get a little deeper here. Nice. Slowly come up to a neutral spine and bring your feet together to touch in this butterfly pose. I like to bring my hands to my toes and then hinge forward from my hips, using my elbows to open up my thighs even more. Again, this is not about can I bring my forehead to my feet or any kind of arbitrary goal like that. This is really just about finding a beautiful inner thigh stretch by hinging from our hips. I like to keep my back straight in these postures because we spend so much time rounding forward with either on our computer or watching TV. Uh, so finding a flat back is really a radical idea in our society. Sit a little lower. Yes, you can. One more inch. And slowly rise up. Bring your feet to the mat and kind of hug close to your knees. Your knees rise up so they're parallel to the mat. And then lower your upper body back down to the ground. Make sure your heels are close enough to your butt so you can almost touch them with your fingers. Extend your right leg long. Hug your left knee in close to your chest. Supine twist to the right. Slowly guide your left knee to the right side part of your mat for a lower back twist. Staple your left shoulder down on the ground. Again, the goal is not to bring your left knee to the ground. The goal is to keep your left shoulder on the ground while also finding a lower back release. Feels really good for me. Twist a little deeper. Find a little more places of relaxation. Nice. One more breath. And then hug both knees in. Reset the spine. Relax the left leg long this time and use the left hand to guide the right knee to the left side body this time. Again, stapling that right shoulder down. Breathe. Close your eyes. Allow yourself calm. Permit yourself. Give yourself permission to be calm, to relax, to feel good. Just a little deeper here. Yes, you can. One more breath. And slowly come back to center. Bring both knees in towards your chest for another reset. Maybe rock left and right briefly for a lower back massage. And then grab for the outer sides of your feet for happy baby. Your knees come close to your armpits. You kind of press towards your hands and into your feet, and rock left and right, keeping your lower spine on the ground. Pretend like you're a little child in a crib, waking up for the first time today. Good morning, Sunday. Maybe you straighten one leg out if that feels good to you. Maybe straighten the other. Have fun with this. This is a mobile posture. So feel good. Nice. And then hug both knees in. Release the hand grip. Hug both knees in. Inhale here all together. And then open mouth exhale. Extend your legs long. Arms go long. And close your eyes. Shavasana. You've made it. Stay in this resting meditative pose for as long as you like, soaking in all of the hard work that you just put in, all the love you gave to your body, to yourself. You did it. Option to stay here for as long as you like. Or if you would like to seal out class with me, bring your knees in and rock gently up to a seated position. Bring your hands to your heart and then your hands to your third eye center. Thank you so much for spending this past 45 minutes with me, spending 45 minutes on your soul and your body. I hope to see you again on your